5 No Spouse Conversations. Let's meet the conversation starters. We have Sybil Jones, our Navy spouse and CEO. Up next, we have Grace Romo. All right. Hey, yo, this is live. And I'm having some technical difficulties over here. And y'all, I know why I'm having some technical difficulties. It's because of our guest. Yo, let me tell y'all about this guest of ours, Mr. Tony Adams. He is a U.S. Navy veteran. And yo, let me bring him on here real quick. I said, Tony, give me a little bit of a bio. Give me your bio, y'all. Let me tell you what he said. 19 years U.S. Navy. That's what he said. Then he said graduated from DeVry with a bachelor's in global supply chain management. And then he said currently working at I can't even read my writing. Percussions Inc. Wait a minute. What did I write?
Perception.
Look, I don't know if y'all can see that, but I don't know what I wrote. It's not, it's a bunch of gibberish. But yo, Mr. Tony Adams here. We go way back, y'all. Way back.
Back to the art.
Yes. And bringing him on today's episode, talking about deployments, I have so many memories of my first deployment. But I want Tony to introduce himself and tell y'all how we met. And hold on, Anna. No, we did not meet. The last guest we had on, the last male guest we had on, you thought we were married because he was giving me away in the picture. Remember, he was in my wedding picture, Anna. Oh, look. Anna's acting like she's in the third dimension. Are you frozen? We can't hear you. You are muted, Anna.
I said my internet is in and out today, so it's going to be hit or miss. I'm hoping I'm just going to sit like this the whole time, so in case I freeze, I always look like this.
Grace, I think she's playing us because you remember last year's episode, she was like, oh, did you think my brother was my...
Yeah, Anna was really here for the tea. She wanted that hot tea. But it wasn't
Right.
It wasn't
I did. I was trying to make some up.
No, and it is not that kind of story between me and Tony either. So, Tony, you want to tell the folks how we met?
Yeah, we met on my second submarine command. We met at I believe it was a welcome aboard party, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And Miss Jones right there, sitting at the end of the table with Mr. Jones, just talking away.
No.
Never. Y'all know I don't talk. I'm quiet as a church mouse.
And what was so funny, her and my wife at the time hadn't really met, so she was talking away, and I guess she had heard stories about officers and their wives. So she didn't like officers and their wives too much. So she whispered to me, and it was kind of like she thought it was like the worst thing walking. I was like, how did you get that? You haven't even met her. I say she's talking. I said, you rarely see spouses, high-ranking officers, speak to everybody else. And so I told her, just give it a try, just meet her. And then after that, they met and best friends.
Yes, we were inseparable. And she got me through so many of our underways, because sub-community we called underway deployments. And that getting to know Shauna, I was fresh. I was fresh in this life, very green, didn't know anything about military life. But she took me under her wing, although I'm a month older than she is. Uh-huh. Yep. We would have that debate all the time about who was older. But I learned early on to lean on others through deployment to help me get through deployment. And so I had to, with this topic, I'm like, well, actually, Tony, he wanted to know. He's the one who gave me this topic idea because he was like, let's talk about what y'all really go through when we're away, how we really feel. So, anyone want to kick this off? How do you feel? At first, let me go to the audience. How many deployments have you gone through for our audience? Tell us in the comments. We want to know. Someone left a comment. Let's see. Oh, Angela. Yes, she has. I talk about Shauna. I still talk about my buddy to this day. Yeah. And I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to be sad this episode, Grace. I promise. And Tony, I promise I won't be sad. But how do you guys truly feel when you're going through deployment?
I think it changes each time, especially as you move from like your first to your second to your third to your fourth to your fifth to your sixth and so on. So like I've lost count of how many we've had. And I think it also changes depending on like, you know, if you have kids, no kids, before kids, during kids, after kids, how I just think it kind of it has its differences, each one. So this last one was different for me and different for my kids. So I think for me, you know, it just depends on where we're at.
How was it different for you this time, Anna, than before?
This time was easier. Like the first several were horrible for me. You know, it was like, oh my gosh, when's it gonna end? You know, and then of course, and then when you're pregnant, when that's going on, that was super, super hard. And you can't wait for it to end. And then, you know, as you get more and more under your belt, I wouldn't say it gets easier, but I think you just kind of know more of what to expect. And then it's not as excruciating.
Yeah. Anna's like, you don't want to be solo? So, would you guys say that the first deployment was harder than the fourth or fifth?
No, well, I think the first deployment definitely has its challenges that you might not experience going forward just because it's all new and maybe you've never been apart before or for that length of time or whatever. But like for me, our fourth deployment was the hardest. And the reason for that, it was even shorter than some of the other ones. But the reason for that was just what we were going through at the time. And my son had just been diagnosed with autism. I had a 2-year-old. Like I felt at that point like I needed the support of my husband, and then knowing he had to go and then he left, like it just was something else. It was something else. So, and that was our fourth deployment. So it was like we were already, I don't know, 6 or 7 years into the life or something like that. So it kind of, I don't know, that was the one that like hit me.
How did you navigate that? Finding out about your son's diagnosis, and were you near family?
Absolutely not. Nope. Family is far, far away. They did come and visit, which was nice, but I I don't have family close to help, or I didn't at the time. Or I don't now either. But I'd say like having a good friend base was an absolute must, because they were there. They could understand what I was going through. They knew I needed the extra support at that moment, and just having that group of people, not even to depend on in like an emergency, even though that's helpful, but like just like the day to day, and just staying busy too, like planning stuff too, right?
Right.
And then I don't know, like I had to start seeing a counselor, and that really helped. But I got to this point where I was like, I can't do this. Like, I can't do this. So I got to up my game, because, the stuff that worked before is no longer working. And that's when you know that, like, okay, might need a little something extra help.
Make that little change. So now, Tony, let me ask you this, because hearing what Julie just said, and as the service member, and we know you are now a veteran, but thinking back to when you were on deployments, did you, because help us understand what the service member is going through when you're deployed and what you're thinking about for the home front, or if you're even thinking about the home front. Just
We always think about the home front, the end game, whole process. It's just a wait time, but during the deployment itself, I mean, most of our focus is on our job and basically staying alive. Well, being a submariner, so staying alive is our number one goal, because of course we under the water. So, and think about family and trying to get home, and we wonder, what's going on back at home, because as you know, in the sub, we don't have that luxury of being able to email our families or talk to our families on a regular. So we have scheduled uh, points that we could communicate. So it is tough. The first deployment for me was really tough. I wasn't married at the time, but that first 6-month deployment under the water and not being able to talk to family or anybody, that was pretty tough. I was at the point where I was like about to say I quit.
but there was no
quit. You can quit after the 6 months.
So, what piece of advice would you give to a military spouse for the support why their service member is deployed? What advice would you have?
The advice that I would have is on both sides. Everybody need to be patient and understanding of what each other are going through. I mean, because it's super tough for us being away, and I know it's super tough for you guys being at home. Taking care of the stuff at the house, because from what I've seen, most married couples in the military, the husband always the finances and all of that, and the women take care of the house and the kids. But then when the guy leaves, then the wife is stuck with trying to find out how to pay bills and this and that and juggle the kids. So I know it's tough on both sides, but everybody just need to be patient and understanding of what each other are going through, and just sit down and have a conversation about it.
See, conversation. Have a conversation about it. All right. 1 second, folks. We're going to shift gears and we're going to go to their aim.
You mean to tell me?
Hold on.
There
It's
ain't no
coming.
way.
It's coming. Come on. Come on.
You're funny, Sybil. All right. So, oh, you're muted.
Oh, Am
What's
I
up?
muted?
I can hear you now.
Oh, I was trying to get your video intro to come on. Did it play?
Yeah, it already went.
Oh, okay.
Hang out. It's my turn. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Well,
Right.
and anyway, let me tell y'all about my tip. No.
That's funny. Okay, so I did take an unexpected nap before our show. So I don't have all my stuff with me, but we're gonna make it work, okay? So my first There Ain't No Way is about getting your house to smell a little bit better. Sometimes, you live in places and it's a little funky or it's, moist outside or whatever it is. We all want our house to feel nice and clean and smell good. Well, I used to use wall plugs, right? Like the nice, cute ones that have all the fun scents. But now I have toddlers who are just like attracted to that, like magnets, and I can't use those anymore. So this is what I use. These are car vent clips, air fresheners that you use in the vents of your car. But you can actually use them in your house. So on your AC vents or your heater vents that you have, only use this in times that you're using cold air, not hot air, because it'll melt it. Cold air. You put these on your vents. You just clip them on. They just like slip on like a little clothespin. And as the air is blowing, it blows that scent down. So your air all around the house smells like whatever scent you use. And they last quite a while. These are like, you can put one up and every month or two you have to change it. I find it better than having to like spray the Febreze around the house, or I'm not a candle person, so I don't really like lighting candles. So these, I just throw them up. They're good. The house smells fresh and you're good to go. So that's my first one. And then I have a couple more. I have kiddos, 4th of July is coming up, and we use glow sticks a lot. When you break them, this is going to be kind of hard to show because it's daylight here, but you see all this empty space that aren't lit. My kids hate it because they're like, it's not even glowing all the way. Mommy, look at this. And I was just like, okay, let me fix this. So you break them as much as you can, and then you tap them on something. So I'm going to mute it because I don't want it to be so loud on there. And then I'm going to show you what they look like after. So just remember like all these empty little spaces that you see. I was trying to show you what I'm tapping it on, but I'm just tapping it on my desk. And you just tap the whole thing. I was going to mute it, but we'll do it like this. So you tap them, and your whole stick will now glow. And it's because it's just breaking everything up. So your hands aren't always going to break it, but now there's one little piece. But the rest of your glow stick is going to be lit. Oh, you're doing the solo screen again. Sybil, that's not fun.
I wanted to see the full glow.
You wanted to see the full glow? So I'm going to do another one. But my kids, like, they just want everything to be perfect. So, I have to figure out how to do that. But yeah, they just glow so much better now. And then my last tip is for anybody, COVID and germs and flu and everything that's going on. Hand sanitizer is like a number one thing for us. We have it everywhere, but they actually sell scented spray ones. I hate the smell of regular hand sanitizer. It's just gross. It smells nasty. It's just alcohol. But you can get scented ones at Bath and Body Works. And my kids love it like this because they think it smells good and it smells like dessert. And so I can keep their hands clean after the park, after the store, after whatever, with different sprays. The lighting is kind of off. So like this one is strawberry pound cake. So they're like, oh, I want to spray. And so just get you some spray hand sanitizer. It's a lot easier and less messy, especially in the summer when it like melts and gets gooey. Yeah, that's my last one for today.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're
The
welcome.
glow sticks, I'm going to use that. The hack because I get mad about the glow sticks myself.
Yeah, especially like even the big ones, the like really big ones that you could use, like I don't know. And I don't know what you guys use, but we get like all sorts of them for holidays and 4th of July and all that stuff. And so it's a bummer when they're like half lit and stuff. And you can also throw them in the freezer to make them last longer. That's another part too.
Like before you use them or what?
Once they're cracked. So once they're cracked, you know how they kind of like go out pretty fast. If you put them in the freezer, you can use them again later on.
Fascinating. I did not know that.
Look, you learned something new today, Anna.
Ew.
There you
Notes.
go.
Take notes. See, y'all, Grace is going to take care of you every first and third Thursday. Come here live and learn a new tip or hack.
Yeah, you won't know what you get.
Yes. So let me tell you guys about how I feel about deployments. So my very first deployment, it was when we were in Kings Bay. We were newlyweds. We arrived to Kings Bay, Georgia. Marcus left shortly after. He had to go to sub school. He came back. Then he left with the sub. Now, this is going to sound bad, but it's the truth. And y'all know I believe in keeping it real. So I did miss my husband. And even when we were in Japan, which was years later, I did the same thing. And this is just my way of navigating deployments or TDYs anytime he's away. When I was in Kings Bay, every Saturday I would lay in the bed and watch Lifetime Movie Network. It was the best. I had no one talking about my movies or interrupting me. I could just watch what I wanted to watch. Again, I missed my husband.
Yeah.
It felt great not to have somebody rubbing on me.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, hey, so I use deployments as my vacation time. Then I also didn't have to cook. I wasn't worried about cooking dinner or worrying about his schedule, even after we had kids, because my very first deployment, no kids. Then I had an infant, which was interesting because that is where Tony's wife at the time, she helped me. She helped me paint my nursery because I didn't know what I was doing. And I had Taco Bell and woo, I was stinging it up, blaming it on the dogs.
Sheeta's face.
And y'all, we were doing the stenciling thing. So I had the first stencil, she had the second one. So she's coming behind me. You would think after the first wall, she knew not to be behind me. Yes, Tony.
Yeah, I know. I heard all this stuff.
But with every deployment, I found my people. The same as every duty station. I found my people. I hung out, lunch, movies, but I also learned to spend time alone. And it was weird at first, right? Because I was a very social person. But, okay, I want to go out to eat. I have no one to go out to eat with me. And I hadn't found myself a lunch hoe yet. So I just went to lunch alone. And the other thing I used to do for every deployment, Tony, would you like to share that story about the one deployment y'all went on and you came back to a four-legged friend in the house?
Oh, looking for dogs.
Yes, I would get dogs. I would bring dogs. And I took Shauna with me. I was like, okay, you're going to get a dog this time.
And that worked out pretty good because he used to fight about it. But I wanted a big dog. She wanted a small dog. So compromise. Got medium-sized dog.
Yes, it was a medium-sized dog. Yes. So I said all that to say, you know, deployments for me, yes, I miss my husband. I sometimes it sucked, but I made the best out of every deployment. It is what you make it. And this last, I will say, it wasn't a deployment, but they had RIMPAC. And it was a little different for me because I was just in my own weird space at the time. But I had to get over myself and take the hands that were offered out to me. People were reaching out to help me. And I was, no. I kept refusing for a little bit, but then it was like, you know what? You need these people. You need to surround yourself with people. That doesn't mean that you're not having a bad day because you're out and about. And I will tell y'all this. I used to get creamed during deployments because I was just skipping around in the sunflower field, and I would have spouses ask me, "Oh, you don't miss your husband? That's not how you behave when your husband is away. What do you want me to do? I don't know what
That's all
you
it
want me to do." But it's like everyone handles deployments differently. And don't judge. And Julie and I'm gonna put Julie on the spot. We've had this conversation many of times, right? But it's like we're all different. We all handle things differently. But I do believe that when you find your people, and I'm gonna put Nishida on the spot because we were together in Japan, and our husbands were on the same ship. And one day I told Nishida I wanted some peanuts and a cherry Coke. And I was sick. Remember, I was sick. It was like 1:00 in the morning. Somebody ringing my doorbell. Nishida with some peanuts and cherry Coke. You got something to say about that? No?
Nope. Yeah, I got nothing to say. Nope.
How do you handle deployments, Nishida?
They're just the same as any other time in my life. Like, I don't know. I just keep it moving. He leaves, he comes back. He leaves, he comes back. My life just goes the same way it always does. But we've been together a long time. And when we started, we were both in the military. So he would leave, I would come back. He would leave, he would come back, I would leave. I would come back. Sometimes we'd both leave at the same time. So then after I got out, I don't know, it just seemed the same to me. It wasn't different. I guess I don't feel any one way or another way about it. Like it's just a part of our life. He's gonna leave and then he's gonna come back. But I mean,
So
every time he left, I would take a long nap. I would say that. Like take a long
you would
nap.
take a long nap.
A long nap, like after they left, because they don't really leave. They be leaving for like 10 days. You're like, what are you doing back here? Like, oh well, we're gonna leave. Well, something happened. Some always it's up in the air. So then when
It's
they
like,
actually left, I'd just be like, oh, I'd go get in the bed and just sleep for a long time. When I have my son, come on, we're gonna go take a nap. He'd be like, okay. We was little. And then after that, I just get up and go on about my life. Like I worked, I had a kid and he had to go to school and it was just normal. It felt normal to me.
It felt normal. What about you, Grace?
Felt pretty
How
normal.
do you feel and handle deployments?
I think I'm with like Julie and Anna in the fact of it really depends on what your life looks like during that time, and just like your marriage dynamic at that time too. For us, my husband's first deployment, we were okay. So just before the first deployment, he had a big field op. On the Marine Corps, they tend to have like a really big, long field op before they deploy. So it's like 8 to 12 weeks before. Then they come back for like a month and then they leave for 6 months. So we were in that first phase. During that time, my mom had just passed away like 6 months prior to that. And we got my sister. And so I was going to court during that time. My husband was gone. I had to deal with court by myself. I had to deal with all the guardianship by myself, moving stuff from my mom's house, everything by myself. So I was already worked up about that. And then time passed. I think he actually had quite a few months between that one, but time had passed, and we had my first daughter. So I had my sister and my first daughter, and she was baby, tiny little thing, and he had to leave. So I had a brand new baby, and I had my sister who was like 12 at the time, turning 13, teenage years. We just came to Pendleton. I didn't know at the time I had postpartum. I was going through everything at one time for that first deployment. So it felt like hell to me. I was very resentful because he had to leave. Even though I knew inside, like, it's his job, it's his work, it's what he has to do. It's not him choosing to leave, but he has to leave. I was still resentful because of everything that I was going through. I wasn't in a good mental space. I had a new baby. I had my sister. Everything was going on. We weren't, just, it was so much. So it was really, really hard. That first deployment, I was like, F this. I don't ever want to do this anymore. Like, this is stupid. The whole thing. I was just going through everything. And then he got back. And then I was like, I could breathe again. And it wasn't even that necessarily he was taking so much off of my shoulders when he was back, but it was just having your partner back, that safety, right? That person that you normally have to lean on is there. Now, the second deployment, I had my second baby, and she was newer for, deployment babies, whatever. But I had my second baby, and he had to leave again. And so I had two daughters, two little ones, and my sister. And she was further into her high school years, more of a teenager. But because of how bad that first one was, the second one, honestly, it didn't feel too bad. I felt like I went through the worst of worst. The second one, I knew what to expect. I knew the timeline. I knew that I can keep myself busy. I made sure I was in a way better mental state, postpartum than I was the first time. You just learn. You learn things from that first one. There was a little bit of resentment still because his second deployment, he wasn't in combat. He wasn't anything. So he was kind of hanging out quite a bit. And I was just like, man, you're on vacation. You're at a different country, some of that stuff. But you understand it's their job. You understand they have a mission. They're getting their work done, and you just keep doing you. You work, or you take care of the house, you take care of your kids, you do your finances. You just learn what works for you after the deployments. They suck one way or another, so you just got to make the best of it. And that's not even just deployments. I mean, that's in the Marine Corps. There's a lot of field ops, like I said, trainings, all those type of things. Anytime they're away, you kind of just got to make sure you're in a good space. Sorry, my little's crying. Make sure you're in a good headspace and just keep going. I mean, they suck. Give your spouse grace because it's not like they want to be there. I doubt it. I don't know. Tony, tell me, do you want to be there? They don't. They don't. It's good experience for them, and they get to see some stuff, cool stuff sometimes. Sometimes it's just hell for them too. So kind of just remember that. You're both going through it. But yeah, it kind of just depends. Like Juliana said, depends on where you're at in life and all of that. And like Tony said, have a conversation, communicate, get your expectations down before they leave.
Yes.
Yeah, and just go with it.
Talk to other spouses that have gone through it or will be going through it with you. Because that was my saving grace. When we first got to our first duty station, some of the wives, they asked me, hey, come over, have dinner. I was like, nah, I don't want to have dinner with y'all. I don't know y'all. They showed up at my house. And I'm like, why are y'all, how did y'all know where I live? That was weird. But I went out to dinner with them and they checked on me. Actually, one of the spouses, even after we had moved away and we had been gone for like it was my second daughter. So we'd only been gone for like a year and a half. She drove up because we were living in DC and they were in West Virginia. She drove up and spent the day with me. I was like, oh, but I was also, even at that time, I was like, how'd you know where I lived? How did you? My husband worked that out, but it was just a little weird. But build your community. Talk to other spouses. Because, hey, you're all in the same boat. You get it? It was a Navy joke. No.
They say one through one.
Oh,
That's
you
only for you Navy people. Doesn't work for.
Do what? Hold on. I didn't hear what you said. Y'all froze.
I said that only works for the Navy people.
You're in the same boat.
I'm in the same desert. I don't know. It doesn't work as well.
No, seriously. I really believe that having conversations, one with your spouse about pre-deployment and even post-deployment, have those conversations, have that expectation set, but also talk to other spouses.
Mm-hmm.
hey, how do you handle deployments? How do you handle life? What gets you through day to day? Because Grace, I used to say F it a lot. And Tony, we were going to lunch every day. Not me and Tony, but me and his wife. We were going to lunch every day that they were out to sea. Why? Because that was our ethic. Yeah, we ate out a lot. Sonny's barbecue and the Mexican restaurant. We alternated. That also caused gas problems, but
It's worth it.
all right, we're gonna run to a quick commercial. We'll be right back. I am going to bring our conversation starter, Miss Lori, on. She's going to beam herself in a moment. Let me get this video caught up. Is it caught up? Do y'all see it? All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Miss Lori is going to tell us how she handles and navigates PCS. Or not a P. Why am I'm talking about PCS, and because I'm about to PCS deployments. Are y'all ready? Do you see it? Do you see it? It's rolling. It's rolling. It's rolling. It's rolling. It's rolling. There's a lag.
Sad I cannot be there today to be a part of this conversation. This is probably one of my favorite topics, talking about deployment. So I'm really thankful for the U.S. Navy veteran Tony for coming on and talking to everybody. But how I really feel about deployments. I used to be a whiny baby about them and think, why is this happening to me? I can't believe we have to go through this. But as I have aged, which I'm not going to tell you what that is yet, I have learned that deployments are an opportunity for us to improve ourselves, because we do have a little extra time on our hands and we don't have to be accountable to somebody else for our schedule, because they're gone. We get to make the rules. We get to do the schedules. So, and then it's also a time to really reflect on maybe what they're going through and try and be supportive and help them, because it's a lot easier for us when we're here and we have family that can come visit us, or we can go do things, but they don't have any of that. They're stuck somewhere in a tent or a place without hot water or all that stuff. So I really view deployments as an opportunity to improve myself, either go back to school, learn a new skill, go on adventures. And then, as every military spouse, I'm sure, does, you just pray that nothing bad goes wrong, and that the three things, your washer machine, your car, and some other appliance, don't break all at the same time. But other than that, really use that time to invest in yourself.
All righty. Thank you, Miss Lori. Thank you. Thank you. So has anyone gone back to school or anything while their husband has been deployed?
I started my blog.
Ooh.
So
Oh, well, tell us about that, because I want to know.
it was the end of our second deployment, and I was back in Germany. I had spent the summer in California with my family. I was back in Germany, and I was bored, and I was ready for it to be over. And I still had like 2 months left, and I was like, I'm going to start a blog. So
what is your blog about? Because I want to know.
It is about deployments and PCSing and anything military life's going to throw at you. So it's a military spouse support blog. And I started it because I thought, you know what? I am not the only person who is feeling the way that I am feeling. So I'm going to write out my
And what is it called?
It's called Soldier's Wife, Crazy Life.
Not what did I say the other day? I was like crazy life.
I can't find it. It's Army Wife, Soldier's Wife. Well, I don't know what that is.
It was a long day. So now, what is it? Tell us the name again.
Soldier's Wife, Crazy Life. .com.
Yeah, I'm like .com.
So that was born of deployment boredom, I guess, and just the need to, communicate and reach other spouses and, connect.
So I want to ask this. Tony, do you have any questions for us before I ask this question? No? Okay. How many of you send care packages when your husband is deployed?
So that has also gone on a journey with me. I used to send a lot. Like I remember always being at the post office and sending them out, and like we would even do journals because we couldn't talk frequently back in the day before you could have communications like you have now. We would write journals and send them to each other. But I think this last deployment, I think I sent one package. I think my mom sends more packages to him than I do. I keep telling her, I'm like, you got to stop sending packages because you're making me look bad.
Oh my gosh. So, Tony, how important are care packages when y'all are deployed?
The care packages is like, it's like Easter egg hunt, and you find that golden egg.
See, now I feel really bad.
See, during our
Because we were always compare. Like we wasn't supposed to.
Look what I
But
got.
we were always compare our care packages.
So I have a care package story. It was our very first deployment, and they told me I had to do a halfway night box. So I got this shoe box. I put some Slim Jims in it, some candy, the book Sybil. I put a tennis ball in it from the dogs.
Don't say it. We don't have to know every last thing.
That underwear in there. Underwear in there, Sybil.
And I was that person. I was that spouse.
Went overboard.
Yeah.
I remember. I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything, but use the talk of the ship.
We all make mistakes.
I didn't know. I was trying to be sweet. Yeah. And I was banned from sending any more.
But see, I fought the spouses that was running that. I fought them for not being specific on telling you what you can and can't.
I didn't know. Grace, why are you looking like
she
that?
didn't read that book.
No, they actually didn't have it in there because my care package in that time was borderline, and then that's when I realized that those packages get checked by our command master chief before it passed out.
Yes. See, I was unaware that someone else looked at them. Yeah. My bad. My bad. My bad. All right, guys, hold on. We have to go to our game, and because we're up here talking, I'm having a good old time talking about this. Sorry, dear. My bad. But we're gonna play our name the military term or acronym, and then we're gonna come back for Miss Anna to do her segment. But who wants to be the contestant for this game?
Our special guest has to be a contestant.
Yeah.
Okay. And y'all want to do rock, paper, scissors, shoot to see who's
I
going to go?
remember
against our
how rock,
special
paper,
guest?
scissors went last time, so we'll it was interesting.
Okay. I'm thinking of a number 1 through 10. Whoever's the
You're gonna
closest. Okay.
7.
Go. 7,
1.
3.
10.
3.
You're already in.
You're
Tony.
playing regardless.
5.
5. It was 5.
There you go.
Oh.
So wait a minute. So Nashida won. So she's not on this show. Remember, whoever.
Oh yeah, I forgot she does it like that.
She does a little crazy stuff.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
1 through 3.
2.
1.
All right, 3.
All right, Anna. So Julie and Grace. 1 and 2.
2.
1.
Oh, Grace.
Grace, what? Did I win or lose?
So Julie, you are
Yeah.
the contestant.
Okay. Let's do it.
All righty. So let me change this out real quick. Are y'all ready for name the military term or acronym? So let me tell you the rules. We're going to sing. So for those who are not on the screen, you are going to, hold on. I need to move you out, Anna.
I was like, oh, I thought you. No. That's okay.
Yeah, hold on. Let me move Grace out and put Julie here. Hey, y'all, I'm learning how to make this thing work. Maybe I need to add everybody. No, it should just move you out. I don't know what's going on here. My bad, y'all. My bad. Okay, Grace, tell
Yes,
everyone about our upcoming event. Why I get this
Oh
moved out.
man, I got thrown in again. Okay, May 25th is our virtual event, and we are talking about how important it is to have friendships and community. Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay, I was like, wait, am I getting this wrong? Okay, May 25th, Friendships and Community, how important it is in our MilSpouse space. Sign up on milspouseconversations.com. I think it's on our social media as well. But make sure you sign up to get your ticket to get in. It is at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. 5 p.m. Pacific Time. I forgot I'm in a different place now. 8 p.m. Eastern. Come join us. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Real talk. Real talk. You can find out how we really feel about deployment. And yeah, just have some good conversation. And we'll see you there.
Yes. Look, we're even worse than here. So, you know, sorry, I'm going to behave myself. All right. So, Julie, you are up. Let me get Grace here. Move you, Julie. Oh, Lord. Okay.
There you go.
Y'all are, here we go. All right. This whole new thing, I am learning. I am trying my best, y'all. But anywho, here we go. We are going to play Name the military term or acronym. Now, if you are in the comments live, we want you to play along, and you can win if you get the correct answer. Okay? And we will randomly select someone who comments during this live to win. And Julie, do you know what the prize is if they get the correct answer?
Is it a sticker?
$5.
$5.
We're going to give away money. We're giving away money
right.
today. So you
$5.
can win $5 from us, and that is from the wonderful Convolicious sponsor, USAA. That is how we're able to bring this whole show to you. All right. So, Tony and Julie, are you ready? Everyone
Ready.
else, we're going to sing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, and then they have to say their answer at the
We
end.
both say at the same time.
Ready?
My goodness.
Yeah, shout it out. Name the military term or acronym, the process of identifying and protecting information about military operations. A, OPSEC, B, deployment, C, DEERS, D, galley. Okay, ready? Twinkle, twinkle,
Go,
little star,
star.
how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. All right, what's your answer?
A.
A, the opposite.
A, OPSEC. All right, are y'all sure? You want to phone a friend?
Nope.
Although
Nope.
knowing you probably tricked
Oh.
us. In some way.
They're never gonna live that one down, Sybil.
There's like a name term that doesn't make sense to me. That makes sense to you.
Angela said A. And the answer is A. OPSEC. Yay! Da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. Operational security, the process of identifying and protecting information about military operations. In other words, keep your mouth shut about your military members' deployment schedule, because that is one thing that we didn't mention about deployments. Don't let loose lips sink ship. Don't keep your mouth shut.
It can mean a deployment can get pushed back, or the return of the deployment is delayed, or
That's including telling family members, because even if you understand OPSEC, it does not mean your family understands
Yeah.
OPSEC.
And
So
people love to post on your Facebook
Yeah.
wall, where are they and when are they coming home?
Yeah.
and then people can get mad at you about it too. But you just have to be
Yeah.
like, look, can't tell you. Sorry.
yeah, just stay away.
Just keep your lips sealed, because the last thing you want now, all the other spouses in your command, they want to get you. They want to yank you up.
Yeah.
You will not be liked.
So
Nope.
keep your mouth shut. All right. So we are now going to have our new segment with Miss Anna.
Self-care?
We're running a little behind today, but bear with me. Don't y'all leave yet. Don't y'all leave yet. I got carried away.
You want me to
Miss
start talking?
Anna.
Shall I start talking? I'm going to spill the tea about some self care.
She's waiting for her solo screen. There you go.
I don't like the solo screen either. I don't want to talk to myself, Sybil. I want to see you guys lined up on the side so I can see.
See, I'm not the only one. It's intimidating, y'all.
So today's topic, I think, goes well for self-care because you have to do self-care all the time, but especially when you are experiencing a deployment or something, TDY or whatever. So I'm just going to keep it short today because I think my goal with this whole self-care journey is to just kind of give you bite-sized chunks at every session, and to keep it simple so that you'll remember. So for the biggest thing I want you to remember today is that self-care is not selfish. It is productive. So for those of you like me that want to always feel like you're busy or productive or doing something, self-care is actually productive. It is a must. It is not a luxury, but it feels like it's a luxury, but it's not a luxury. So just get that in your head. Just say that to yourself. Self-care is not selfish. It's a must. It's like going to the doctor, taking your car in to get it fixed. It has to happen. So the other piece to knowing what self-care is, there's if you Google it on the internet, there's 3 pillars, there's 7 pillars, there's 5 pillars of self-care. So however many pillars that is, the main ones are self-care falls under categories. So you've got your physical, your mental, and emotional because they're different. So your basic ones are physical, mental, and emotional, but I'm going to add in spiritual. So some of you may be spiritual, some of you may not be. But for those that are spiritual, see, Tiana says, amen.
That wasn't Tiana. That wasn't Tiana.
Oh, that was Julie's dog.
Nope, not mine either. Whose that was?
I don't know whose dog that was. All right.
It was the
Dirty.
God.
It was your dog, Tony? Wait a minute. When did you get a dog?
When I got married, I inherited a Leo.
I haven't seen Leo.
Yeah.
We need to see Leo. Bring
Yeah.
Leo on screen. He needs to hear about self-care. Okay.
Yes, he does. So dogs know all about self-care. They make sure that they got that covered. But anyway, so just remember physical, mental, emotional, add in spiritual if you're a spiritual person. I think if you are a spiritual person, that spiritual part needs to go way up top, and be the biggest chunk of that. So, and with all of that, with it being physical, even though physical is just a small chunk of it, you need to listen to your body. Your body will tell you when you are neglecting your self-care. So those are my tips for today. Remember, it's not selfish. It is a must, not a luxury, but can be a luxury. And it is productive. Remember, you've got physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and listen to that body because it's going to tell you if you're not on a routine schedule of self-care, your body is going to tell you, hey, it's time to get into that self-care routine. So that's what I want you to get out of today.
I love that you said it's productive because that is one of my biggest struggle of any type of self-care. I'm like, I could be doing laundry, I could be doing this, I could be doing that, my kids this, my kids that. So yeah, that's amazing. Thank you, Anna.
Yes, you're welcome. I'm glad you liked that, especially if it's a nap, because I'll be laying on the couch taking my self-care nap, feeling so unproductive, but I'm like, no, Sybil says I've got to do this, so I'm taking my nap.
Take your nap. Take that nap. I am taking a nap, okay?
Okay.
Drooling off.
Got it.
Drooling
There's
off.
Leo.
Let's see Leo. Hi, Leo.
Oh.
You know what to cooperate now.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I don't want to be on camera. You camera shy, Leo, but you was barking a few minutes ago. All right, so let me show you what we have been up to here at MilSpa's Conversations. Because I know people are like, what is MilSpa's Conversations all about? We're a talk show and we host events to start conversations. That is what we do. So our talk show gets you excited about the conversations, and you come to our virtual events, our in-person events to get in the conversation. So hold on, let me show you a little something of what we've been up to. Y'all ready? Y'all ready to see what we've been up to? Mm-hmm. queuing up.
That's so
That
cute.
was so cute. Loved it.
I love that sticker on the girl's door that said no soliciting. Sybil's all like, I'm not doing that.
It doesn't count.
Sybil said does not apply.
I wasn't soliciting.
You were.
I was giving away donuts.
She was doing the
So-
opposite.
Yes.
Wow.
So on Military Spouse Appreciation Day, I went around San Diego, and lovely Angela volunteered her time and went with me. We were out for 12 hours.
Wow. Oh my
We
gosh. Did you
yes,
stop at
we were out
lunch?
all day long. Did we have lunch?
Yeah.
No, and we didn't go to the bathroom either. Like we both thought about that when we got to the house. We're like, we didn't eat.
What time did you
Yeah.
guys leave?
We left the house at 9.
You didn't get home till 9?
Yep. So I went out at 7:30 to pick up donuts.
Oh my god.
Crazy,
Yeah.
crazy girls.
Yeah. But it was fun. It was fun. We gave out donuts, gave away some cash, gave away some USAA swag, some conversation swag, but most importantly, we stopped and had a conversation with every single person.
Wow.
Not a long conversation, but
Yeah.
we talked to everyone.
That's
Awesome.
awesome.
And something that I see is we need, as the military spouse community, we need more of that community and conversation and fun. Yes, y'all. I knocked on people's doors and wobbled or talked to their cameras. I was like, hey, open the door. But that's what you get with us. So,
Yeah.
if there's nothing else to be said, y'all ready to wrap this up?
Wrap it.
Wrap it up. But before we go, I do want to thank Mr. Tony, my friend, my brother. Tony is now like family to me. We talk crazy to one another.
I try to
You talk-
disown because I cooked. Because I
Yeah.
food.
And then he cooks and takes pictures of this good looking food. And I know he can cook because I've eaten his food many of times, but he doesn't send me none. Nor sends my mom. My mom's like, can I get some of that? And he's like, no, ma'am.
I did not. You know, I did not do that. You know, I wouldn't do Mama Pam like that.
No.
But Tony, you got to come back again and talk with us.
Anytime. I appreciated it.
Yeah.
This is
And especially, I do want to talk about the post deployment, like what that whole integration piece, because y'all, I won't lie. Our first deployment, and when Marcus came back, I was like, are you okay? Because he wouldn't talk to me. He literally just sat on the bed and stared out the window like this. I called my granny. I did. Granny, is he okay? He was like, I've been under the water. He was happy to see sunlight, but I didn't understand that.
Yeah.
Right? I was like, what's going on? I went to Walmart. I left the house and went to Walmart. I did. I know there's another spouse out there. First deployment on subs who's like, what's wrong with my husband? Because at that time it was all males on the sub. Now, okay, I'm totally rambling. So let me go. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, Tony. Join us on the 25th for our event, and be sure to check out our website and check out our store. We do have an Amazon store. We have merch on Amazon. So go buy some. We have this cool little pop socket there. Isn't it so cool? It says Mill Spouse, established when I said I do.
I love that.
We have stickers that say that too, and a mug, and a cup, Grace.
Am I the
Yes,
one
Grace.
that said no? Y'all, I don't drink hot stuff. I drink ice cold drinks, okay? Don't hate.
Congratulate. All right. Thanks. Have a good day. Come and talk to us on the 25th. Check out the site. Like, subscribe, tell your friends about us. Let's do this.